Good morning, everybody. This is Steve Levay with the Morning Call. I want to start off by saying happy 2014 and a healthy one to everybody out there. Hope 2013 was a good one. This is the last day of trading of the year. Going to be a very light volume day. I'm going to hopefully make some money quickly in the morning and then end my year on a good note. So let's talk about a couple of stocks that we're going to look at today. A little different viewpoint than you usually get from Scott and Evan. We're going to talk about the printer stocks and a couple other high flyers that I've been trading for the last month or so. Let's start off with DDD. As you can see here with DDD, you have had just one monster run up from basically right here, November 20th. It's ridden this nice 8-day trend line all the way up to about $95. And this stock over the last 5 days has had incredible range from about 85 to 95 back and forth. That has been a trader's paradise right now. And to be honest with you, I think, one of these types of moves in these stocks, I think this thing's going to see 100 obviously early next week is my opinion, due to the January effect, people selling towards the end of the year and then maybe buying it into January. I think this thing tops out around 100 and then maybe, I'd like to see it pull back and set up a nice bullish flag or some sort of level where we can be comfortable buying it. Right now I'm not comfortable buying and holding this because it's so volatile and it's moving, just back and forth so often. But again, if it can get back even to 87.92, which is the current 8-day, and then hold that area, I think it'll be very bullish going forward. This stock has had an incredible run since early summer when it was basically at 50. It's basically doubled over the last 4 months. So this is what you have to keep on your radar in 2014. These 3D printers have offered great two-way trading, great volatility, great volume. Let's talk about XONE. It's another one that's just really been trading very well. I just got to wait for my charts here to show up. I don't know what happened here, of course. Anyhow, so we'll talk about XONE here until my chart comes up. Here we go. All right, so XONE has been a little, obviously, weaker than DDD, but what I see right here is this pattern, which I talk about often. It's called the W, okay? And this is a very bullish pattern. Right now, if we can get above 65, this thing has a measured move of about $15 that could take this stock back up to 80 in the near future. Again, you had your big move down, a bounce, down move again, and then another big move up. That is a bullish-looking pattern. And again, in a sector that is so strong, these are the types of patterns you want to see in your charts. Again, the volume is very scarce right now in XONE. It's doing about 300,000 to 400,000 on average. I want to see this thing do about 500 to 1 million to really feel comfortable. But again, the stock is setting up for a move. We just got to wait and see when that move is going to occur. VJET, another one that I have been trading very religiously since it IPO'd back on October 20th, October 18th. You had the big move up on a beautiful setup, then bad news comes out, takes the stock down about 40 points. It's been leveling out between 30 and 40 for the last month, I'd say. And now what I'd like to see is a move above 40. This morning I heard that DDD for VJET was making the rounds, so something to keep an eye on. But again, if we can get above 40 on this stock, I believe that this stock is probably going to find a top around 50-ish, somewhere in this range right here, so that it can, build for the next earnings season, maybe take us back up to highs. Again, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Some of the other stocks I'm watching right now have been moving amazingly over the last month, and I'd like to see how they're going to go, into January, because they're on my short radar right now for some of these moves. Let's talk about iCloud, ICLD. Talk about an incredible move here in the last 5 days. Here's a stock that based around $10 for about, better part of 3 weeks, and then it had a nice breakout bar right here on Friday, I believe. And now the last 2 days, we're way up this morning at 1860. This is a type of stock I'm going to look to see if we can find a top at some point soon. I mean, it's just had a mammoth run from 9 to 18 in 3-4 days. I'm going to look to pick a short at some point if I can get the stock short. And, you know, maybe these are the types of stocks that have these types of moves, but the faster they go up, the harder they come down too. And again, these are just like the end of the year type stocks that have these moves. So there, I've written down a few of them, and I'll go over them as I'm talking. But iCloud, to me, if it can stay strong, amazingly, you know, maybe gets to $20, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to come into 2014 with the overbearing short on mine, but these are the stocks I have to look at for a move like that, considering the moves they've had up. Let's talk about CUDA, Barracuda Networks. Here's another one. Went from 25 to 40 in 5 days. Okay, an $8 move last Friday. Yesterday it got up to 39 and change, and then ugly tail right here. So this morning I do have short on the mine on Barracuda Networks, but again, if it can get it back above that 39 level, I'm not going to fight the trend. I'm going to stay, long this thing. But right now I have my short. If it stays below 39.40, I'm going to look for it to break yesterday's low, which was 35, and a break of that maybe takes us down to the 30 level. Again, these moves, look at these green bars. Let's talk about VISN. I mean, talk about incredible. This thing was at $10 for the better part of November, and now today, or yesterday, it got as high as $31.63, and I think it got as high as 35 in the pre-market. I mean, that is incredible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 20 straight days of green action. So you had that one big bar down yesterday. If we break the low of 23.11, this thing comes back into the 18 area. But as fast as these things move up on that type of move, you're going to see this type of action in some of these stocks going forward. Look at that red bar yesterday. This stock dropped $6 really fast. Okay, ATHM, same type of thing. This is an IPO, so it's moving a little differently. But I mean, this IPO December 11th. Look at this move from 28 to 38 in 3 days. So again, it's got a little toppy right here, as you can see with the tails, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with this stock. It is an IPO, so I'm treating it a little differently, but it's another one that I have on my radar. WBAI, let's talk about that. Another recent IPO. Has not had a down move, really, other than this one, and it got negated over the last 2 weeks. So basically, we've moved from 18 to a high yesterday of 39.42, and look at, just riding up the trend line. Again, this is another one I'm going to look to find and see how it trades around, the 40 level. Is that the top? I don't know. It's a recent IPO. Probably have some more, upside in it, but you have to be aware that when stocks have moves like this, they will give you those giant falls, where you're going to get stuck. You don't want to fight them. If you find that you're buying pullbacks in them and you're getting, hurt, you probably want to move away from them and tell yourself you don't want to be fighting these trends. NMBL, a little lighter volume, but again, same thing. An IPO, look at this move, 30 to 44. So these are the types of stocks. It's ATHM, VISN, CUDA, ICLD, WBAI, and NMBL. I'm going to keep an eye on these in the first couple weeks of January, although I do trade them every day anyway, but I'm going to start thinking, are these things topping out? Are these things, looking for a short? I don't know what's going to happen, but you have to keep them in the back of your mind. So with that, gang, again, today is going to be a very light volume day. I have DDD, XONE, VJET, ATHM, VISN, and ICLD on the screen right now, and hopefully that'll give me a good hour and a half's worth of trading, get some money into my pocket, and end the day and the year very happy. Again, Happy New Year to everybody. Go Eagles. If you're a Saints fan, I'm hoping you guys lose. I can't wait for the game on Saturday. Happy New Year all. I will talk to you all in 2014.